Hey everyone, it's Lori McGuire with Remax McGuire team in beautiful Orange County, California. I hope you can see this beautiful coastline. I'm in Laguna Niguel, and gosh, my hands are shaking just a little bit. I wish I could just bring a tripod on these hikes that I go on. But anyway, I've been doing weightlifting while I've been hiking, so I should really do these videos like at the beginning of my hikes, so I'm not shaking so much. But anyway, I wanted to show you the wonderful coastline in the back, and I'm at a different spot where I usually am when I'm hiking. So I'm going to turn this around and show you exactly where I'm at. So let me turn it around. Okay, so I am in Laguna Niguel, and I'm first going to show you the coastline, and I better speak up because you may not hear me very well. Okay, it's just a little overcast right now. If you look straight over there, that's all the Pacific coastline, and that's the Ritz-Carlton, which is really famous. Grab my dog. Okay, and then that's going down towards Dana Point, and then all up this coast, all up this hillside, that is Monarch Point. It's a development here in Laguna Niguel, and it's gosh, they range in price really from $5 to $8 million. I would say the last couple of sales were in the high fours and also 8 million, right up in that range. And it's a guard gated community, beautiful spectacular views you'll see. And then where I'm at right now is an amazing area for people who want only a single level attached property, and I don't want to be going into people's privacy, but this is what's called Pacific Island Village. And these are, they were built in the 1960s and 1970s, but there's Pacific Island Village 1, 2, and 3, and they have spectacular views. And also in this area, I'll flip it around and I'll start talking to you. Okay, and please tell me if I am, if I'm not, in the frame properly, because sometimes my videos are sideways. So I've been learning the hard way. So I'll start looking at your feedback, I promise. Okay, so in this area, there's Pacific Island 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, and there's also what's called Monarch Summit 1 and 2. Now, all the areas are open to families, except Monarch Summit 2 is for, you have to be over 55. And the association dues are very reasonable. They're, $350, $360, and it includes, maintenance of the outside. I think, the water is included in Pacific Island 1, 2, and 3, as well as sewer and stuff like that. But you have incredible views, and many of the properties have been completely updated. So they have the 9-foot ceilings inside and the living room still, and you come into the quartz countertops and everything. My mom lives in Monarch Summit 2 in the over 55 community, and they're very hard to come by. Gosh, in fact, I don't think there's been a sale in the last 6 months over there. So they're really, really popular. And every one of these communities, by the way, has association pools and everything. And gosh, they have bridge clubs and, every kind of club you could imagine. But they're all single level, and it's really quiet up here. So I just want you to see that almost all of them have incredible views. They range in price from $600,000 right now up to $1.5 million, and that's an 1,800 square foot property that's currently on the market that has been completely redone down to the steps. So it's unbelievable. It's like no rooftop views or anything. But with this area, you don't have enclosed backyards, so that's important for you to know. So anyway, I'm going to go into my real estate topic of the day. My real estate topic of the day, and I get this quite a bit on listing appointments. So many times, in fact, since I do a lot of luxury properties, I come across people who are in the process of downsizing. They're, their family's grown, and the kids are, going into college, and they're moving out of their 6,000 square foot estate, or 5,000 or 10,000 or whatever. or they've had a change in their life, you know, and unfortunately I see this all the time where it's a divorce situation, unfortunately, or, you know, someone's lost their job. It's, you know, very heartbreaking at times. And, you know, a lot of times they're fighting it for the longest time, and because they don't want to make that change. And I went through something similar. So, you know, this is really close to heart with me. And it's very easy when I go on these appointments to share my story, because it's very challenging to downsize, even though you know it's the really best thing to do. But I went through this when the real estate market really crashed, you know, in 2006, 2007, the end of 2006. You know, I was living what I thought, you know, was my dream lifestyle. And, you know, I gave up a lot for this dream lifestyle. You know, I've always been a workaholic, and I kept buying bigger and bigger and bigger homes. And I certainly did not need the home I was living in. I lived in an amazing community called Ocean Ranch, custom side of Ocean Ranch, and I still sell, that's an area that I specialize in. And I love it, and I lived there for 9 years, but I lived in a 6,700 square foot estate, and it was just me and my 2 dogs. It was kind of crazy, but I threw these incredible parties, elaborate parties, and, you know, I got a lot of business from it. And, you know, it just seemed that I was living externally. And I knew that I was only using a couple of rooms in my home. I was living, you know, I was using my master bedroom, which was incredible. I had a kitchen inside of it, a kitchenette and everything. And I was using the gym, and I was, you know, going downstairs to the kitchen to bring things up to my kitchen upstairs. But it was really for show, more so. And I never thought I had an ego, because I always thought I was really nice to people, and I was always, you know, I've never, you know, never felt judgmental of people. I've always tried to treat people with full respect, you know, house cleaners, anyone. But when it came time, when the market was crashing and my income dropped in half, and I made the unfortunate mistake of refinancing, and you know, I bought my property for $2.4 million back in 2004, and I was really you know, very happy that it appreciated to $4.1 million. Gosh, and just a couple of years later. That's how Orange County real estate can be, but it was crazy times back then. So I took money out, which I've learned a lot from. I've learned a lot of business lessons, which I'm very grateful for, actually. And I bought 2 other properties with that money. So it's not like I used that money to buy lots of, you know, luxury items and stuff like that. But I did buy, you know, other luxury items, but not with that money. So anyway, what I did is I bought a beach house in South Laguna, and I started leasing that out as a vacation rental, and I was getting $20,000 a week on it, because it was 2 doors to the sand. And, you know, I thought just, you know, it was just all pouring in. I thought I was living the lifestyle. And I was doing you know, I bought a Lamborghini, a Maserati, I had a Range Rover, all at the same time. And it was just me, but I was doing these promotions. You know, if you bought a property or sold a property through me, my team, you could, you know, use the Lamborghini for a night on the town and dinner for 2. And, you know, it's just so crazy. And I really let my ego get out of the way, you know, or get in the way, should I say. It wasn't out of the way. So what happened is my mortgage payments and taxes altogether went up to, oh wow, I would say, hi everyone, gosh, $18,000. It was a month, per month. Can you imagine? You know, and maybe a lot of you out there who are making a lot of money, they're like, oh, that's nothing. But you know, when your income has dropped in half, and, you know, I was making very, very good money before, so that wasn't, you know, really a challenge, but I was just so stressed out. I was so stressed out, and it happened for years. I was stressed out, you know, so I was trying to hang on to this house. Then I put it on the market, and I put it on the market at like $3,750,000 or something like that. Got an offer in the low 3s. And I've told this story to many of my sellers who have gone through, who are actually going through it right now. And, you know, I don't have a problem sharing this because I'm not embarrassed about it. I think I was when I was going, I know I was when I was going through it. It took me a couple of years to get through this, but now I'm really proud of what I've gone through, because I think it's made me a much smarter business person. And now we're doing so well in real estate and I know exactly where I'm investing my money, and I'm not ever going into a big house again and all that. But let me go back to my story. So I put my home on the market, and I got a great offer in the low threes. My loan amount was still, it was 2.6 million. And I thought, oh, how dare them? My appraisal was, 4 million, blah, blah, blah. So I was offended, as a realtor owner, I was offended by their offer. And I don't even think I countered it. Well, you know what happened to the real estate market? It just collided. It just went down and down and down. Got another offer. It was like 3 million. And it just went down and down and down. I was doing everything to hold on to this property. I did a loan modification. I sent in all this money in. I was approved for the loan modification. And this happened to a lot of people. I was actually approved for the loan modification. My payments went down to like $6,000 a month for the longest time. And then all of a sudden I found out I wasn't approved after all. And this was years later. And by the way, you owe $150,000. And I was just like really shocked. I was absolutely amazed. And I ended up writing out a check for $150,000 and sent it to my lender. I remember that. And just to save my house. And in the meantime, it was just tumbling down and tumbling down. And I was just trying to get above water. And I had properties, and I was liquidating the properties, and they were free and clear. So I put literally $3 million of my own money just to save my business. So I never had to go bankrupt. I kept my doors open. That was the most important things to keep my business going. And to make a long story short, I had a short sell my beautiful estate in Ocean Ranch after years of hanging on, trying to hold on to it. And I love that home. I absolutely love that home. But you know what? It was a really difficult time for me. And I had a downsize. I literally downsized into one of my own rental properties that I owned. And I went from 6,700 square feet to 1,630 square feet, which was a complete shock. But I totally redid the condo, and it had great views and everything. So it was a shock, and it took me about a year. And during that time, there were a lot of my realtor friends and my very best friends that were going through huge issues. And quite a few people I knew died. Quite a few people had committed suicide because they just couldn't deal with the issues. And so I was really having a challenging time with that. So it took me a good year to get over that pain, and but I did, and I really read a lot of self-help books, and I had to really get to know me, not my persona, not who I was projecting to the public. And there were some really good books that I read, and one was let me see, it was Gary, Power, well, I'll put them on Facebook. It's always like this when I'm live, because I don't have any scripts ever, but there were some really good books that, it tells you when you're getting into your ego, and when your ego gets in the way, you just have to shut it out and say, no, I'm getting to my ego, stop it. And every time I started doing that, it really helped me. So now, we're really doing well. I'm actually doing better than I was in the high time. Well, I'm approaching it. Let's just say I'm approaching it. I can't say I'm actually right there right now. But I don't ever want to be in a big house. I live in a much smaller place. And because people have asked me, when are you going to buy that big house again? Or when are you going to upgrade and everything? And it's like, no, I'm so happy. And I'm just buying lots and lots of doors. So my original goal was to have 100 doors by 2025, but now it's 100 doors by 2020 because I'm just finding them left and right. And I just signed another contract 2 days ago for a fourplex. And but I like to buy like 16 plexes, 20 plexes. If I can get to like 100 plex, that would be amazing. But that is where I'm going to have the protection with my money, because if I have a couple vacancies in a downward market, it won't affect me. But I don't want to buy little houses. I would only buy little houses for appreciation when it's a down market, and really take advantage of it. Right now it's cash flow for me. So I'm actually buying them in another state right now, in Chattanooga, Tennessee. So because I want cash flow there, and I could get really high cap rates, but I'll totally buy Orange County real estate and multifamily properties here when the market dips, because I'll not only get cash flow, but I'll get appreciation, much better appreciation than in Tennessee. So there's strategies. So anyway, let me get back to my topic. So what I recommend if it's time to downsize, and I'm sure, you know, you're hopefully not going through what I had to go through. And it was every single day having a hard time getting out of bed because I did not know where the money was going to come from. It was so scary. And then I had to be the positive boss, and I had to let people go, lay people off during that time. And it was just so challenging emotionally. But what I recommend, if you have the opportunity, downsize. It opens up your life to so many possibilities. I can attest to that, and I never thought I could get over that, but your life opens up. And I go on appointments all the time, and you know, so many people are scared because they don't know anything else. They've been in this big house for a long time, or even a big home to you could be 2,500 square feet, and you're downsizing to a 900 square foot condo. But you know what? Maybe your goal is to travel and to see the world, or to be with your family. There's so much more to life than just that big house, you know. So that's my recommendation, and to really be smarter with your money than I was back then. I guess I had to go through all that, and I do have the nice car still, but it's paid for. I bought it used, Maserati, bought it used. Don't ever buy it. Cars brand new. That's all I've got to say. And so there's a lot of things, and I'm trying to see if I could. Oh, thank you so much, everyone, for your comments. But now the personal advice would be, oh, okay, when I'm exercising, like I've been out hiking, that's why I'm very shiny right now. I'm always playing games to keep myself motivated. So, you know, I have my water bottle, and I do the weightlifting and all that, which is 3.5 pounds. But it's so funny when I'm on this hiking trail that I go on all the time. Every time I pass someone or they pass me, I just say, okay, I have to do 10 lunges, you know, 10 lunges. I owe 10 lunges. So I start doing 10 lunges on the hiking trail. And oh my gosh, today there were so many people though. So I think I've already done about 80 lunges. So then I've racked it up to do abs, you know, at my house, or, you know, push-ups or something. Just make little fun things, because exercise could be really challenging. Like if you say, I have to do 1 hour every day, or 30 minutes, like break it down to just little fun things, or have a timer go off, and, you know, every hour walk around your office, or do anything. It just, you know, it's just little things. And that's what I'm always telling my mom, just, you know, get up and just walk around your house, and then sit down, or whatever. It could be the smallest little things. And I also have friends who still smoke cigarettes, and I can't believe you guys do that, because it's so unhealthy. But the quickest way to get over a bad habit, like smoking, and I'm not a guru expert, believe me, I don't have a PhD or anything like that, but I've learned this just for myself, not that I was a cigarette smoker, but I've had bad habits in the past on other things, is to develop a positive habit, like start running. That will make you be so motivated. If you start running, you sign up for a 10K, and then you get excited that you're running, or start walking and do walking, running, and then you'll start running more often. You know, run. You're not going to smoke as often. And then little by little, you may just quit those cigarettes. And once you go to your first 10K and you get the high, the adrenaline off of everyone else, you may actually quit smoking cigarettes. So I think the only way we could really get rid of a bad habit is we have to have a huge motivation. And it could be a child, you know, you just had a child or something, and that's a huge motivator. Or you develop a positive habit, and that propels you to get rid of that negative habit, because it's affecting your positive habit. So I hope that makes sense. But anyway, isn't that beautiful? I have to turn the camera around for a second to Juno. I think you can see Juno. So she is resting a little bit, and I'm going to turn it back around. Oh wait, I think I turned turn it back around. Okay, so everyone, have a great day. And what I want you to take away from this is, let's get out of our egos as much as we can. Do what is in our spirit, what is best for us. And I am reminding myself of this all the time. What is best for me, not my ego. You know, ego is, what is that? Ego is edging God out or something like that. I remember that expression. And oh, Gary Vander, no, not Gary Vanderchuck, that's another guy, but it was Gary, oh, I'll put it on Facebook. This book I kept reading over and over when I downsized my life, and I had to keep reminding myself that I had to get out of my ego. So I'll put it on Facebook. I promise I will. So hopefully you get out and exercise a little bit, and just play, you know, you don't have to be neurotic. Maybe I'm neurotic, but I play just little games to keep me motivated throughout the day, and I break things down. So maybe that will help. I'm not sure. Okay, have a great day. It's a beautiful Sunday. Bye. Okay, I have to get up close so I can figure out how to stop this. Okay, I'm still on, everyone, and I'm still trying to get used to I do this every time. You can tell I'm not really good with Facebook. So I have to get in the shade. There's Juno going away. But I do this every time, and I can't figure out how to stop this. Okay, because I just turned it around. Okay, now, yeah. See, you have to roll with the punches, like I said. I'm definitely out of my ego right now, but my dog is going away. Juno, come over here, honey. Okay, so maybe I switch it. Okay, and oh, now I can say, okay, bye everyone.